In Japan, it's illegal to be obese. Companies and local governments are required to measure the waistlines of their employees over the age of 40. It's called the Metabo Law, and it was introduced in 2008. And while it might be weird to you and me, it certainly reflects Japan's focus on health and wellness. The law requires companies and local governments to measure the waistlines of Japanese citizens aged 40 to 74 as part of their annual health checkups. It's part of a plan to tackle metabolic syndrome, a cluster of conditions that increase the risk of heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. Under the Metabo Law, men with a waist circumference of 85 centimeters, about 33.5 inches, or more, and women with a waist circumference of 90 centimeters, about 35.5 inches or more, are considered at risk. The law encourages people who fall into these categories to undergo further health examinations and, if necessary, receive health guidance. While the intentions behind the law are health-focused, it has sparked discussions about privacy concerns and body image issues. Some argue that the emphasis on waistline measurements may lead to stigma or discrimination based on body size. The role of employers and local government was to help decrease Japan's obesity rates by 25% by 2015, and failure to do so would result in penalty fees. And according to various sources based on 2020 estimates, the obesity rates in Japan have become relatively low, with approximately 4.3% of the population falling into that category. In Germany, it is illegal to run out of gas on the Autobahn. The Autobahn is the federal motorway known for its lack of a general speed limit. Fines can range between 30 and 70 euros depending on the circumstances. And the idea behind this is that if you stop your car on the highway because you don't have gas, that is a preventable problem. It is a human error. Well, then that makes it punishable. That being said, if you do have car trouble on the highway and your car does break down, you have to stop. There is no fee for that. But in order to avoid the fines, you must call for road assistance. If you do find yourself running out of gas on the Autobahn, you actually can call for assistance. The people you need to be contacting are the ADAC, and if they arrive before the authorities do, they can provide petrol, but you have to pay for it. And technically speaking, the law punishes you for stopping your car on the Autobahn without an emergency. In Canada, there is a law that requires radio stations to dedicate 35% of airtime to Canadian artists, particularly on weekdays and during working hours. The Canadian Broadcasting Corporation takes this a step further, sourcing over half of their popular music exclusively from Canadian artists like Justin Bieber and Drake. The law was established in 1971, aiming to boost local music exposure. It started with 25% of airtime solely for Canadian singers, and by the 80s it was raised to 30%, and then in the 90s up to 35%. Before this law, Canadian radio favored international acts. A lot of people are happy with this law, as it is meant to support local artists, as well as showcasing and nurturing them. However, some people do criticize that a regulation like this compromises artistic merit by emphasizing quantity over quality. In Greece, it is illegal to wear high heels. Not everywhere, of course, but it is absolutely illegal to wear heels at historical sites. People caught wearing heels at historic sites could face fines up to 700 euros. The law was emphasized back in 2009, and according to NPR, high heels along with food and drinks are restricted from archaeological sites due to their potential to cause harm. The Odeon in Athens is an example. The person who pushed this law into effect is Eleni Korka. She's the director of Greek prehistoric and classical antiquities. And she is the one who said that people who wear heels pose a threat to the monuments. In Italy, it is illegal to feed pigeons. The prohibition on feeding Venice's pigeons came into effect in 2008, which led to the immediate closure of 19 pigeon feed sellers on St. Mark's Square. These vendors, who had licenses to sell dried corn packages to tourists seeking photos with the birds, had to shut down. Individuals caught feeding pigeons could face fines ranging from $80 and all the way up to $800. The ban happened to address the growing pigeon population, which is held responsible for spraying filth and damaging the city's historic facades and monuments. Venice is home to around 100,000 pigeons. Previous attempts to control pigeon numbers involved measures like introducing contraceptives in their food or using birds that prey on their eggs. And that was 5 outrageous laws that need to be stopped. Maybe. If you like this video and you like our content, make sure to leave us a thumbs up, leave us a comment down below, and let us know what else you'd like us to make for you. And if you really, really like us, do consider subscribing to the channel. We will catch you in the next one.